Well, yeah. Cool, that's working. Just finish that off. No, we can stop the music. We don't have to do that. Okay. Thank you. Yep. Nope. There we go. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Just had to get gas because I haven't done that in a hot minute because we haven't been coming out in a hot minute. And as a matter of fact, funny enough, on my way, I was like, I gotta get gas. Oh, I know. There's a QT that I have literally stopped at before on the way to St. Vrain after you get off the highway. So here we are, coming out of that QT and headed to St. Vrain, which is just right up the road. So I think this was the first place I ever came to because it's, you know, state park, lots to see. Let's see, if I sit back, we're trying something a little different with the audio setup, which is an installed lavalier. Why did I say it like that? A lav mic. We'll see, rather than trying to wear it on me if I just plug it in. Never thought of that before. First time trying it. I set everything up. I also rerouted the cables in the car and put up cameras. Oh. That's a dead bird. That's unfortunate. On the side of the road. You don't see that very often. It's not, birds typically don't get hit. Maybe they were over there in the grass and were taking off and, anyway. Not so nice, not so fun. We're going to St. Vrain. Not that it's been the best possible location for us to go, but I was here not too long ago. We were doing still photography on a Monday back. It's been snowing. I don't know how much you can see. That there is some remainder the last few weekends. So we are back out today after skipping a little bit, but I did record a thing that came out, which was cool, that I've been meaning to do. Ooh, okay. That's what I was afraid of. Completely frozen water. There's something up in the sky, some waterfowl. Yeah, that's a big frozen lake in a big frozen lake. Oh, nuts. Well, that was the concern I had about today, was that the lakes would be frozen. Considering it technically is just above freezing, but it's not been that. Like, we're just getting back to a little warm spike, but it has been very cold, very, very winter. Couple inches of snow every weekend for the last few weekends in a row. But the last time we were out would have been about a month ago then, at the beginning of January, before the snow really hit. And that, we came out and we saw gulls, lots of them, a huge flock of gulls repeatedly diving on the lake, catching something, and I couldn't get a clear shot of them. They're very fast, move very quickly. But I was hoping to do it with video today. That might have changed plans if the lakes are frozen, which it seems like they are. So instead, we're just gonna hike on into St. Vrain like we've done before. Maybe we'll see the osprey. I'm set up for video today because it's a Saturday, so that's what we're gonna do. We'll see what we see. The plan has now changed dramatically. Well, not really. Somewhat dramatically. Not that bad, but enough. It's no longer going to be the same as it was, and we shall see what it is we shall see. Yeah, that's what I thought. You are a real piece of crap. Person running up on my bumper while we were coming down the road, which is a much slower road as it's supposed to be, and then just blows past the station on the side you're not supposed to if you have a valid pass. Did not stop for anything, and there's a stop sign there regardless. You're supposed to stop no matter what, so what a jerk. Let's not go that way. Let's park here, like we did before. Lots of people out, I guess, going ice fishing. Lots of cars over there, but the last time we came out, we did this. And then I walked up over to the ponds that were there. I guess I'll just go walk and see what the situation is like, because they were right there. But just pull into this first spot here, so that we're close enough to go walking the other way if that's what we wind up doing, which is probably what we're going to do. But we'll see. Either way, it should be a good time out. Hope that worked in all the ways that it needed to. This was pretty high, so we need to adjust that. I've also trying out different mounts for different cameras here, so we'll adjust for that, and then we'll see how the audio turned out. Probably better when I am talking directly ahead and less other directions. Interesting. All right, let's get out there and see some wildlife. One frozen lake. Two frozen lakes. Lots of red-winged blackbirds, though. All right. Back it up and head over that way. There's birds out there in the water, 2 spots that haven't frozen over, so we could definitely go sit there and watch and hope they come to the closer one. Or we could go over by those benches and watch in the trees here. Oh, decisions. We're not going to get a ton of cloud coverage. Waterfall or the chance of songbirds? Let's do waterfall. Fowl. Waterfowl. Okay, I'll stop talking now. Okay. I think we're going in all the places. I think we're doing good here. All right. That was a fun time out. Yeah. Merganser. Merganser. Merganser? Merganser. Pretty sure common McGirt. And then I immediately do something different. Merganser. Common Merganser. Hooded Merganser. Just one. But Merganser. It sounds so weird the way I say it. I don't think... Merganser? No. That doesn't sound right. Merganser. But it's Mergan. Anyway, the point is I saw them. Many of them. Several of them. A flock of them. On the water. And it was really cool. We got some cool moments. In particular, they're out there, frozen lake. I set up, watched for a while. We also saw a pair of hawks at one point, but for the most part, it was all merganser. And those are really cool. I haven't seen too many of them, honestly. It was one of the things we moved out west, and in Wyoming, I saw a fair amount of the goldeneye, and you get a merganser here and there, but never as many, which is why I don't know how to pronounce their name, I guess. But saw a bunch of them, and we got going, using the Pocket 6K. We talked about all the cameras, everything there, and if I'd known I was going to set up in one spot, which I didn't know necessarily because I didn't know what I was doing, and also it's more cumbersome and attracts more attention, but the bigger camera, the other thing that I think I mentioned in that whole video, but I also expect that video to be long, so I don't blame you if you don't watch it, but the other thing I thought of being like one of the trade-offs, bigger camera has better slow motion, better high frame rate. This one's okay. I basically have the option to either do the 60 frames per second, which is standard, or I can switch it to 120, and it drops the resolution from 5K to 2K, which is still fine because then I can boost it in post a little bit and do things, but it slows it down a little bit. I can go up to like 240 on the other one. I think it's down to 1080, but then it's not the best, but they are getting better at noise reduction when you crank it up, because you're basically taking an image, imagine if this was 4K and then you got 1080 down here and you recorded that at the higher frame rate, you just take that and stretch it out. Those individual pixels don't look so good when they stretch out, but you can do a bit of upscaling is the term for it. But anyway, the point is, I do get better if we set up, whenever we've gotten a nice slow motion shot of a bird doing something, like the kestrels, I think was the last time I used the big camera for that, was we can get some good footage of that, and that can go to 240. It does look better. I'd love to get even better, but anyway, really cool stuff. And one of the things right when we the highlight of the day was fairly towards the beginning. Once we got out there, I did a couple shots here and there, got some wide angles, close up as best we could, switched to the higher frame rate. And right at that moment, one of them comes up out of the water with very clearly a fish, and the other ones go, woo, and it has to like swallow it really quickly. Yeah, that was a cool moment. That made it worth the whole trip, that one moment. And the rest of the day was just icing on top, because that happened, like I said, within the first 5-10 minutes they were doing that. Then I just get shots of them doing their thing all the way around. I know what this place is for St. Vrain. We're between two highways. The audio is not going to be perfect. I get it. I knew that going into it, but it is what it is. And I've also, since we're in February now, last month I did something different that I'm going to try to do monthly-ish, don't hold me to that, which is a podcast, an actual audio podcast. And one of the things I talked about in there was in the research that I'd been doing for nature and wildlife. It actually talked about wildlife documentaries and that they can perpetuate a myth. It's kind of an observationist, like it's something when you watch nature documentaries, you get into the thinking of, oh, there's still like untouched or undisturbed land out there, and the only people who have ever tread those tracks are the wildlife documentarians. That's not the right word to use. The camera people who are going out and shooting these wildlife documentaries. That's not true at all. It's a myth that's being perpetuated, and it's something that for 7-8 years I've been doing this. I also have been, because that's just in my brain. It makes sense. It's everything there. If you want to go look at wildlife, I don't want human in the background. I don't want human elements at all. And when I zoomed out to try to get the full shot of this this part of the lake, which they also clearly have, you can see water kind of bubbling up. They have like pumps in there to keep those spots from freezing over entirely, I assume. It's certainly what it's doing, the 2 spots that were there. That's my guess as to give the birds a place to sit and do that, maybe. I don't know exactly why there are pumps in the lake for that purpose, because I don't think they are doing that as a water supply for anything else. But anyway, yes, those were out there. You could see it in this stretch of water and not just frozen. I was trying to get a wide shot of all that, but of course, if you want that all wide, you also get more here as well. And when you go like that, you can just see the highway with all the cars in the background. And I went, you know what? I would do my best to crop out and just accept I'm not going to be able to get a wide shot and just not do it. No, let's go for it. Let's show the nature as it is. This is the problem. I mean, this is the solution. It's neither a problem or a solution. It is a problem. I would prefer wildlife to be, but you have that trade-off of it is very accessible. It's close to town areas, but it's disturbed by all the human elements of those kind of things. That's the trade-off. That is what it is. I'm not trying to say problem or solution. I have feelings about it. But anyway, I didn't realize that myth. I didn't realize that. And I thought, well, that's typically what I do. Whenever I'm out here doing this stuff, everything I'm doing is just show the wildlife and make sure that there's not a sign in the background. That's the most common one I get, because it'll be like, hey, no fishing, or whatever rules have to be posted. That's the most common. Like, I'm zoomed in trying to get a clear image of the bird or whatever wildlife it is, and there are human elements like signs or gunshots constantly because everyone's hunting and all this stuff. But I do my best to avoid that as possible, and I decided, hey, you know what? Not today. Not in this instance. It's not like I can use the audio anyway, because it's all road noise, and I get bothered by that. I'll put it out in some way, shape, or form of something like that, but probably it'll be more like clipped together. And we definitely got enough that we can do kind of more like I kind of, when I edit, I do a couple different, put a little bit in the vlog and then make one video on its own, standalone kind of thing. And I think we got enough to do one on the Merganser. So, great day out. That was fun. Happy about it. I think I was going to do it. Until next time, everybody. We'll see if I can make it back out in 2 weeks. Monday should be fine. We'll be out to do some still photos, but we'll see if we'll be able to get back out and do some video in 2 weeks, or if the weather will delay that. I don't know. That's what happened 2 weeks ago. It was snowing. But anyway, it's still good. It's still fine. If it's not like blizzard snowing, I can still go out if the snow is fresh. It's just not when the snow is actively coming down or the temperature is an unbearable below zero. It was like wind chill to -30. That's frostbite in minutes. That is not a fun come hang out time outside. That is stay inside and stay safe and warm. And that's what the other weekend was like. So stay inside, stay safe and warm. Hey, that's winter. We've talked about the rules of winter. And I think that I'm just repeating myself, so I'm going to go now. I will see you all next week. Not really. You'll see me next time. It's kind of a one-way thing. If you didn't know that, I'm sorry that you're finding out now. That's weird. You should probably understand how this works. I share my journeys. I can't see through the... Just end it, Michael. Bye, everybody.